Gentlemen, it's been a year. How are you doing?
Hey,
Has it been
Steven.
that long already? Wow.
Yeah, when I was prepping for this interview, I'm like, oh my God, it's been literally a year, which is crazy. So I have a ton of questions. I want to start with just obviously, Keanu, thank you for coming out during the Comic-Con panel. I just want to, in case, just wanted to say thank you.
Thanks, man. It was fun.
Yes, it definitely was. So jumping into why I get to talk to you guys. For fans of the comic, what do you think would actually surprise them to learn about the making of the comic behind the scenes?
How much Ron suffers.
I think they assume that,
How
don't they?
how much you go out of your way to make me suffer. These guys are sadistic slave drivers.
I thought we were just torturing the character.
It's like, there's
Just kidding.
it's a lot of work for him, and there's and I think we're hopefully Ron finds it interesting, just the different styles, the different genres, the different the kind of width of the emotional bandwidth, going from violence to love to grief to mystery to yearning, and then traveling through history, right, to all of the costumes, the animals, the settings. It's a big show.
Yeah, believe it or not, I sleep right over there in my studio. I have a bed right over there because sometimes I have to get right up and get right to it. So I sleep right there.
Why are you sleeping?
Yeah, 4 hours.
Well, I think Ron's trying to let everything subconsciously enter the brain when he's sleeping in the room. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, okay. We'll allow it.
Right.
That's why I think Keanu sits in front of a blank background all the time because he's absorbing things from the universe. All these ideas. That's what I try to do in my studio. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm curious because obviously now there's been many issues out and fans like to talk about. I'm just curious, how much are you guys looking on social media, reading what people are saying and taking what the feedback is from the fans to possibly incorporate into the writing or whatever you might be doing on the creative side?
I don't know about you, Ron. Matt doesn't read reviews. I tend to read the when they're I'll read like 4 per episode, and I try to read the really good ones and then the really bad ones.
I know.
In terms
Guess
of
what? Guess what? I don't read them, but I get them read to me. It's like I don't.
And Steven, in a way, it's like because we're writing and creating as we go along, we really let each issue kind of, we try in the form of it to like answer some things and then propose new things and try to keep it propulsive. And definitely I've taken in like, notes of like, okay, so where else can we go? What might be interesting? What's interesting to us? We can only do what our taste is, but we can take into, I'm trying to think of a specific idea of like what we've internalized and from feedback.
Yeah, just to expand on that for a second, Steve, is that in the reviews, a lot of the times you have to decide, well, when you read them, there's certain criticisms that you might read that are only particular criticisms to the person making the critique. It's not a critique of the art or the writing. It's a critique of, like, I read one recently, not long ago, about the way I drew a hand, and so it's like, you have to kind of pick and choose the things that you think are valid and the things that you think aren't. I'm always up for any valid criticism that's constructive. If it's not constructive, I don't really want to have too much to do with it, because sometimes it can get very acerbic. And I'd rather it not be, because, if somebody wants us to take what they're saying into consideration, then it should be a constructive criticism, So I don't venture too much into that territory, but here and there, when I do, I take what I think is good and what I don't think is valid. I leave that to the side. So
I think the best thing you can take from reviews to me is like seeing what we're doing is landing or not, or people are understanding what we're doing, or if there's a disconnect between what our intent was and then what people are getting out of it, like that's good to me, because it's like, oh, well, maybe we weren't clear enough here, or maybe that didn't land quite right, and we have to be, what I mean, there's things in reviews that are helpful from a creator standpoint, but yeah, as far as drawing hands are hard to draw.
Yeah, we're
I
not
try not to do them. I draw hands like this.
I definitely want to know, where are you right now in the writing and drawing process in terms of future, issues?
So issue 10's out, and Ron is drawing issue 11, and Matt and I are writing issue 12, which Boom has been really cool, and they're letting us do a double issue.
That's what I want. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say I finished 11, actually.
Well, you've got some notes, Ron.
No, I'm sure I do.
Very few.
I look so forward to those.
I am. Issue 12 is something I actually wanted to ask you guys about, because ultimately you've been working on this now for a while. And how much is the finale, if you will, or is this the finale? I actually don't know. How much has it sort of been exactly what you expected, and how has it changed along the way in terms of where you ultimately end up?
Yeah. So we're writing it. First of all, we thought we had so much. Boom set out, like, from the very beginning, it was a 12-issue limited series. So we knew that going in, that we had to tell this story in 12 issues. And then as soon as they said yes to that, we said yes to that. We were like, can we have a double issue to start it? And they were like, okay. And as we've been developing, there's so much story that we want to kind of tell, but also have the space to do the emotions of what's going on. So it's not just plot. We were like, can we have a double issue at the end? And then they were like, yeah. And then we were writing it, and we're like, can we have 2 more? We actually wanted 8 more pages.
And we asked for 8.
The 2 pages kills me.
And so they gave us 2 extra pages. And no, I mean, I think we had an overview. Matt talks about, like, there was always like a kind of end. So we knew where we were starting and where we were ending, but how are we getting there? And what is the ending, or the end of the 12 issues? We're still kind of cooking up, because we always kind of take in the last issue that we wrote, and then what do we want to feel and see, and what would be cool to do next.
I actually, because I'm going to run out of time, as you guys know, Collider, we cover movies and TV a lot. And I'm very excited about the fact that you guys are working on a movie and an animated series on the property. I know you at Comic-Con, you announced a 2-season order for the animated series. Can you talk about where you are in the actual development of the animated series in terms of when people might see it? And how much is the animated series going to follow the comic book, and how much is it going to be its own thing?
Right now we're talking to a Japanese anime company, and we had some preliminary meetings, and we're waiting on them to come back and tell us what version of Berzerker they want to do. For me, it's not like, here are a couple of rules. The rules of the character can't change. Born 80,000 years ago, cursed with violence, origin story. But after that, you can do whatever you want. So in terms of the Japanese anime company, we're talking to IG and seeing what they would find interesting, what they propose. So we're letting, creatively, what do they want to do?
Sure. The other day, Madsen, who's writing your screenplay for the feature, posted a screenshot of the script and the end, and fans got very excited. Have you guys read the script?
He did? I didn't know he did that.
Yeah. The other day he did.
What?
Yeah.
It said cut to black, the end.
I didn't know what it was for though.
No, I knew what it was.
Yeah, I
for.
haven't read it.
Well, no, because then he posted another photo of like the title page or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, he's saying that he finished his draft of the script. So I was just curious.
Yeah, he did. He did. I got it yesterday or 2 days ago. I haven't read it yet.
Okay. Have you guys started thinking about who might direct this, or is that still early days?
It's early days.
Is there any chance, Keanu, that you could direct it?
There is.
This is something that I've been obviously you have directed before. Is it something that you realistically like? I like Ron's reaction. Is it something that you like? What do you put the percentage chance that you might direct it at?
33%.
Oh,
I think it might be higher, but can you sort of talk about what is it? Because you've never. I mean, what are you? Is the challenge of starring and directing in something like this, something that really excites you? Does it make you nervous? You know what I mean?
and
What?
I know
and
how it's a lot of work, but the film that I directed, Man of Tai Chi, was born. I became the director because I was part of the writing process, and I didn't want to hand it over. I was like, oh, okay, I have to direct this.
just
I'm
watch
not quite there yet on Berzerker. I have to read the script. But I also am interested in having a collaborator and what they could bring to it.
Sure. Ron, did you want to add something? I saw your face.
Well, I'm just thinking, man, get that percentage up, man. I mean, I think it's all you. You should be doing it. Clint Eastwood does it. I mean, you can do it. I think you have. It's your thing. I mean, it's your thing.
Is there any other questions? You got any more questions?
Oh, come on.
I was going to say I'm out of time, so I will be wrapping here. I will just say, listen, guys, I'm really happy that everything is going well, and please let me know how I can help on the site.
Thanks, man. I hope you're enjoying it.
Awesome.
Listen, I'm really looking forward to as this ends and goes into other mediums.
All right, thanks, Steve.